WW7N, KD7QKU. Yeah, I heard you connect. You sound good.
Okay. Well, WW7N standing by for Western Washington Amateur Television Society Network, and 5 minutes.
Connected N7KC.
87QKU, standing by for net.
Kilowatt 7 Hotel Yankee Bravo.
Here's K9PQ. I heard Gary and Ron. Ron, how's my signal?
Yeah, you sound fine.
Okay, I was doing some adjustments here, but I think I'll get things going. This is Bob, K9PQ. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net, the WATS net. We meet Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. on the CTAC repeater, and we thank the CTAC repeater group for the time. So we've got Ron, we've got Gary, and let me get ready to write things down here. Who else have we got tonight?
N7QO. CU7N, Whiskey Uniform 7 November on the Echo Link, and I can receive video signals tonight, no transfer on video. And N7QO, and also Lee is out there.
Yep, N7KC, we're in Port Angeles.
Anyone else? Ron, do you know if Lee's joining tonight?
Affirmative, yeah, Lee's here on Skype. I have it.
Okay, I haven't heard him on the radio. Do you know if is he going to come in with audio by you or over the link?
He'll be on Echo Link.
Okay, good. So I'll put Lee with you. And again, this is Bob, K9PQ. It is the WATS net, and let's go right to Ron. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay. Well, good evening, Bob, K9PQ in the group. Let's see, there was Gary, and there was James, and Jim, and Lee. So we have a pretty good group tonight. Well, let's see, I taken the car over today to have the oil changed in it, and then after I got that done, I brought it home, and then I taken it down to the car wash and run it through the Brown Bear car wash, so it looks pretty good again. So I guess I'm good for another 3,000 or 4,000 miles before do it all over again. Let's see what else is going on. I guess not a whole lot. I was going to do some other things today, but the car had needed oil change, and I've sort of forgotten it. It has a reminder, and it has sort of a computer in it, so it reminds you that it needs service, but I had let it go so long, I guess that it gave up. Well, actually, what happened is it sort of gets out of sequence. Needs to be, I don't know what they need to do with it. I asked them to try to get it back in sync because it's a little out of sync. It goes, I think, every 3,000 miles. It reminds you to get the oil changed, but then if you don't do it for 1,000 miles in and 2,000 miles, it reminds you to get the oil changed. So I knew what was going to happen is in about 1,000 miles it was going to say get the oil changed, and then Joanne would be saying, oh, the car needs the oil change. So anyway, I hope they got it back in sync. I asked them to. I don't know how to do that. So I know how to go in the menu and change the amount of miles and stuff, but I didn't know how to zero it or reset it or whatever you have to do. Maybe they don't either. All right, so let's go to Lee, I guess.
Okay. This is N7KC, we're in Port Angeles. Okay, let's see, where I was. Okay. Yeah, okay, N7KC, we're in Port Angeles. Back on Echo Link, somehow I got kicked out of transmit here and I didn't touch anything. So anyway, yeah, good evening to Bob and James and Gary, and I've been chatting with Ron on Skype. Well, another nice day over here. we were really supposed to have some rain, but it didn't really materialize. I noticed the daylight period is a little longer, so forth. Well, I spent the morning in a dental chair, probably an hour and a half, and then this afternoon, our infrared range that we have here that's got five burners on it. Well, the burner in the rear right quit working. So the trick was to figure out how come. Turns out that it was quite a task to get that darn thing flipped out and opened up where I could do it, but it is the burner. There's the thermostat and there's a switch and a few other things intervening. So I had to do the necessary checks, and we in fact do have an infrared burner out. So it's $150 from Sears parts, but eBay's got them. People are parting out ranges, so they've got them on there for from $12 up to $30. So I think I might just get one from eBay. Yeah, the stove we had was new in 2000, so it's 19 years old. So buying an old part probably doesn't, make some sense. To fit an old range, and the price is right for sure. Anyway, with that, I'm about out of time. I'll send it back. N7KC. Echo Link, Port Angeles, back to net.
Okay, thanks, Lee. And I finally remembered to delay for a second or two after keying up. Lee, now that you've done all this research, you might want to buy two of them. I don't know how hard it is. You said it was hard to get at it, but now that you know what to do, if another one goes, or if the one you bought goes, you could have another spare. Just a thought. Okay, on we go to Gary, K7HYB. Go ahead, Gary.
And good evening, K9PQ, K7HYB, and hello, Lee, and Lon, and Jim, and Bob, and me. Good having them. I'm here. Well, I had a real lazy day. The wife usually goes on Wednesday, but she had a shot yesterday, a single shot. And this is the reason I don't get them. Her arm is aching all the way down to her tips or her fingers. She wasn't feeling very well, so she didn't go bowling. So I stayed home. I pretty much stayed home today, and I vacuumed the carpet and took a shower, and that was the slum total of my good stuff today. So I'm not really doing much or anything. And I'm practicing with the new, let me drop it here for you. And I'm playing around with the new feature, I just rediscovered on my video board here, where I can apply an external sync to my call sign page. And so I can put my picture right over the top of it. So I'm doing that right now. I haven't seen the results on the streaming yet, but hopefully it'll come up here sometime in the next 10 minutes or so. So anyway, that's about all for me for this go-around. Like I say, another quiet day. It's good to hear everybody out. Back to you, Bob. K9PQ, K7HYB.
Okay, well, good report, Gary, and yeah, I haven't seen it come up on streaming yet either. In fact, I thought I saw it change from your call, but I'm not sure. I'm seeing your call again now with no overlay. Okay, on we go to Jim, N7QO. This is Bob, K9PQ, and the WattsNet. Go ahead, Jim.
Thank you, Bob, N7QO. Well, good night, everyone. It's good to Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Let's see. Ron. Oil change light. I don't know. My vehicle has a sort of an engine check light. It came on I don't know, 100,000 miles ago or 150,000 miles ago, and it went out maybe 50,000 miles ago or so. I guess it doesn't need anything anymore. Yeah, I ought to probably change the oil though. Fortunately, I don't drive it a whole lot, but probably about time. Maybe I'll wait for the weather to warm up a little bit more. I don't know. Always something to do. Let's see. The weather around here, I could comment just a little bit on that. I just got home about 3 hours ago. Had a doctor appointment earlier in the day. A couple others coming up, actually. It was pretty windy when I got home. And then about 2 hours ago, I happened to catch the local news, and it said that in Covington the winds were gusting to 36. So I don't think it's that strong now, but it certainly feels cooler outside than it ought to, and I think it's largely due to the wind. I'm showing 46 degrees outside right now. Kind of a pretty day though. Back to you, Bob, for now, and 7QO.
Very good, Jim, and thanks for that report. And I don't think my stream has caught up with you just yet. Let me go to James, WW7N. Good evening, James.
Good evening, Bob, and appreciate everyone's patience with the delay on Echo Link. Thank you, Bob, for running the net tonight. Always appreciate that. Ron, my suggestion to you is surrender to your computer overlords. You might try sacrificing a chicken in front of the hood, throwing yourself prostrate on the ground, begging for forgiveness. That's generally the technique I think my mechanic recommends when your computer chides you for not doing required maintenance. But I don't know, 1,000 miles, I don't know if you can recover from that one or not. Lee dental chair does not sound good at all. I think I'd rather rip apart the infrared range than get my teeth fixed. But one thing I will say, a friend of mine bought a blower for a Mercedes vehicle, old model Mercedes vehicle, went to all the trouble of installing it, and then it shortly went out, shortly after he got it all put back together again, and he had to laugh. He goes, well, the blower was probably pulled out of the vehicle just as old as his, and the Germans being so good at this, probably know plus or minus 20 hours when the blower's going to, roll over and die. So he probably got one that had, 5 hours left on it or something. So that didn't go well. So my humble suggestion on the range, is there any way to test the burner, pun intended, burn it in, before you put it in and put it all back together again? Just a thought. Gary, best wishes to your wife. I hope her arm is feeling better. And for this round, let's see, I think I probably burned through 2.5 minutes on Echo Link, so I'll have to get a timer like Lee has. This is Whiskey Uniform 7 November in the Western Washington ATV group. Back to you, Bob.
Okay, thank you, James. And everyone hang on just a moment while I switch over to streaming. Ron, can you confirm that I'm on streaming?
Can I bring it up? Is that what you asked me?
I want you to confirm, do you see me now? I should be streaming now, or it should be showing me streaming now.
No, negative. I don't see anything. I heard you I heard the tone.
Okay, well, let me turn the power up just a bit. Okay, everyone stand by for a moment, please.
Nothing on the 1.2 gig downlink either.
Okay.
Got a 1.2 signal now.
Okay, thanks, Ron and James. Okay, good. So, let's see now. I had a couple of comments on things already that came up. My vehicle has both a check engine and a maintenance light, Jim, and the maintenance light is the one that is like oil change and that sort of thing. If the check engine light comes on, that is serious. And James, the lifetime of the blower reminds me of the early days of the fail-safe computers, where they had two computers running. If one went down, you know, they were always mirroring each other. If one went down, the other would take over. But they were doing so much the exact same operations over the exact same period of time. It was very common for one to go down, and before they could get the replacement disk for one, the other one would go down within a matter of hours or days. So yeah, that definitely does happen. Well, I've just got the littlest bit hanging on from the cold, but I'm feeling pretty well back to normal. This is my second week back in the office, and I do want to say now, before I forget, I won't be available on Saturday. I've got something going on, but yeah, things are getting back to normal here, and it's also getting back to normal at work. Let me break. It was a little bit rough covering for. We had a whole bunch of people gone, and I was told, oh, well, yes, all the people in our group were gone, but all the people in the other groups are gone too, so there won't be much to do. Well, that wasn't the case this Christmas break. But the main thing main project I was covering for, that I really wasn't prepared for, at least not enough. The fellow came back after being in India for a month. He came back last Friday, so things are definitely back to normal there as well. Okay, that's good for starters. Let me put it back to the normal receiver, and we'll go on to Ron. Actually, you know what, before that, let me check and see, is there anyone else that would like to join the net tonight? This is Bob, K9PQ.
Whiskey 3, Radio Whiskey November.
W3RWN, and your name, please.
W3RWN, name is Randy, located in Furion. Good evening. Don't have a whole lot to say, but just listening along and thought I'd check in.
Well, good for you, Randy. I'm glad you joined us, and actually you just reminded me of something that is worth putting out there. We have, you can see our streaming via YouTube, but the best way to get there is search for WW7ATS, and you will find our homepage, and that streaming is also shown on one of the sub-pages there. I think it's called streaming. Someone can correct me. So you can watch along. And thanks for joining us. And did you want to say anything else right now?
Net control, not at this time. Thank you. W3RWN.
Okay, Randy. Well, thanks for joining W3RWN. This is Bob, K9PQ. I will now put us back to the transmitter, and we will go up to Ron. So stand by, please. Okay, Ron, it's all yours.
Okay, well, thank you, K9PQ, KD7QK. Well, Jim, M7Q, maybe I didn't quite explain that correctly. Up on the roof, I guess, of the car, there's a little screen up there, and it has a compass and it has a temperature in it. At least that's what I have that comes up all the time. And up there, when the mileage gets to the point where it needs the oil change, it flashes a little message when you first start the car telling you that you need the oil change. So anyway, you can program it, I guess, so that it'll start out and it'll tell you how many miles to the oil change. So the mileage will always be up there. It was like that once, and I didn't know how to get rid of it, so I had to go back to the dealer and I had to say, how do I get rid of it? Making a guy about a second. It's an old car. It's a 2003 Jeep Liberty. But it does have that. Let me let it drop. So the other big thing that I guess has been happening around here, as some of you may know and some of you may not know, my wife worked for Regents. It used to be, formerly King County Medical, but then it went to Regents quite a while back. Anyway, she worked there for 30 years or more, and so when she retired, she got the retiree benefit insurance, and it was a really pretty good policy, and it was inexpensive, and so we've enjoyed it for quite a few years. And lo and behold, I think it was last year, the University of Washington decided that they would no longer accept it. And the University of Washington is involved in Harborview, and that's where I had all my ankle replacement surgery done, so I could no longer go there. Well then, at about the first of the year, we get letters from Overlake Hospital and Overlake Medical doctors and everything that we've been using for years because we live here in Bellevue, and they said they were no longer going to use the Regents. And so apparently Regents, we have the Medicare Managed or Medicare Advantage or something, but apparently they, I guess Overlake decided that Regents wouldn't pay enough, so they decided to drop it. So my wife was really, really reluctant to drop it. If she dropped it, she could never go back to it again, I guess. So anyway, and she had loyalty to the company on top of it. So at the first of the year, she didn't change. We didn't change insurance company, and we got like a half a dozen letters. And I told her that I'd been to the doctor, and they said after the first year they wouldn't use it. And I told her that, and she says, "Oh no, don't worry about it. I've talked to them. It's all okay." Well, it wasn't okay. So she was sick, and she called to make an appointment. And they said, "What kind of insurance do you have?" And they said, "Sorry, but we no longer will accept that insurance." So she couldn't make an appointment. So, she hit the ceiling. She was upset. Anyway, but she had called Overlake, and they assured her that they would still take the Regents retiree program. And then she had talked to Regents, and they told her that Overlake would take it. And even after that happened, she called them all, and they said they would, but they don't. So anyway, today I think we are now going to be insured. Our medical insurance is going to be under Aetna. So it's been a trying time around here. She compared every insurance in the world, I guess, and decided that we would go with Aetna. So she's the insurance guru at my house. So, all right, let's go to Mr. Lee.
Okay. This is N7KC here again in Port Angeles, courtesy of Echo Link. And the video is coming courtesy of Skype to Ron. And let me tell you that the streaming right now is caught up, but it's so slow. When Bob said that did you guys see his feed? Well, I must have been 4 or 5 minutes before it showed up here. And then by and large, it's gotten caught up now, and it's buzzing along at pretty good speed. I've got a nice picture up there on the stream. Let's see. I'm not going to be here Saturday night. Turns out this Saturday is the North American QSO party, the sideband contest, and I'm going to join Chuck Jones over on the east part of town at his contest station, and with 3 or 4 other folks, we're going to have our own QSO party. But anyways, I'm going to do a contest, and it'll go till 10 o'clock local time Saturday night. So don't look for me. Aside from that, seemed like I had something else to say. Oh, I don't know. You know, if I buy an old burner, of course, yes, I'll certainly test it before I put it in. But you know that this is a rear burner. It's a rear light. It's a 1200 watt infrared. And you know what? I think people have a tendency to use the ones in the front. We very seldom use the ones in the rear because they're for small pans, and the big ones are in the front. And I wouldn't be surprised that just buying a used one, somebody pulled from an old stove, probably they do the same thing most people would, is use the front ones, and the back ones probably pretty good. I don't know. And it's a real better, as near as I can tell. All I did was take it apart far enough so I could actually test for current flow and voltage at its terminals. And it was definitely the heater. But all the pictures I see, it's a ribbon. You know, I better quit. I ran out of time. This is Los Angeles. I'm going to send it back to the net operator, Bob. Go ahead, Bob.
Okay, well, very good, Lee, and best of luck to you with that. And I think that's pretty sound reasoning. Probably it's not used so much. Okay, on we go to Gary, K7HYB. This is Bob, K9PQ, and the Watts Net. Go ahead, Gary.
K9PQ and the group, K7HYB. And there's my overlay. Got a couple of crazy characters in there. I'm not sure you can read them because the picture quality is so poor. And yeah, I agree with Lee that the latency is usual. When I get on here and Jim gets on here, the latency gets bad because the painting is not good. So, before I forget it, Saturday night is not. I'm not going to be here either. That's the club score dance night. So, consequently, unless I'm not feeling well and can't go, I will probably go to the club dance rather than be here. So, sounds like things are going to be kind of depleted a little bit on Saturday. So that's all I've got for this go-around, and I will pass it back to you, Bob, K9PQ, K7HYB.
Okay, very good, Gary. Yeah, I have the same thing to say with the streaming. It's just as usual. So let's go on to Jim, N7QO. Go ahead, Jim.
Thank you, Bob. N7QO. Well, Bob, glad to hear you are feeling a little better. Ron, it sounds like you are feeling better as well. I am also. I only had one coughing fit today, so I'm close to 100%. Vaccinations. I need a shingles shot as well. Sorry about Joanne's arm there, but I guess I will experience that myself in short order here. Definitely on my list of things to do. Ron, yeah, I didn't quite understand what was going on with your Jeep. I guess the Patriot is a little bit kind of a newer
vehicle. My Jeep is about the same as your Comanche, kind of that vintage. It's I think it's a 92. But anyway, it runs just fine. All I do is add some oil every now and then, and add some gas every now and then, and actually that's about all I do to it, I guess. But it works fine, lasts a long time. I'd like to buy a new car, but not this year. Probably not. I guess it's actually a new year already. I guess it's 2019. Well, not last year. Probably not this year either. Maybe next year. We'll see what happens here. Randy, welcome aboard. Hope you're able to see some pictures. Don't know what all we can see on the stream there. I have given up on trying to use the stream at my location. Let me reset. I guess it's reset okay. Lee, QSO party, was that with, I missed, is it N7BB? Just curious. Sounds like someone we should know anyway. Have fun with that. We will be thinking of you. And Gary, have fun with the dancing. Ron, medical insurance. Yeah, it certainly is out of control. We have been experiencing problems ourselves. My wife just switched to Medicare, and that is causing, it caused a few more problems than we were expecting. But oh well. All of this just requires adjustment, I guess. We get it taken care of. Let's see. Oh, Jim, you reminded me about Lee and the dentist. Yeah, amen to dentists. I do not like them either. I could make some terrible comment, but I will refrain from doing that. They can certainly help you if you're in pain, but sometimes it causes pain before it gets better. So, well, enough said about that. Bob, your picture's looking good from my end. Good to see you, sir. And we'll go back to you. K9PQ N7QO.
Okay, well, very good, Jim, and I'm glad to hear you're feeling better as well. On we go to James, WW7N. Good evening, James. Well, hello again, I mean.
Okay, took a couple tries there to get my transmit bar to work. I've got the clock running, and I think Lee said we've got 3.5 minutes on this. I think that's what the default is on Echolink. I'm not going to drill down into everyone's feelings about dentists. That would fill in too much time. Anyway, I was surprised to hear Sears is still in the parts business. It seems like every time I look at the infotainment, Sears is on the edge of finally rolling over and dying, and then something happens at the last minute to save it. My last experience trying to get a Sears part was I don't even remember, it was a magnetron for a microwave, and it turned out to be far, far cheaper to buy a new microwave than it was to get the magnetron. But when I was trying to definitely make sure the magnetron was the problem, I changed around some wires, and I have a control board for an old unit, and it only has one resistor that's slightly toasted on it, which if you knew the value of that resistor, I suppose you could replace it. So I hadn't thought of anyone actually wanting it for an old microwave, but I guess that's a thought. If anybody has thoughts on where you would sell an old appliance part, let me know. I don't have an eBay account, but maybe there's some other good place. Insurance gains, wow. So you can tell this is what's on everyone's mind. This is interesting because last year I worked in a pharmacy, Costco pharmacy, did a 3-month contract with them, and the insurance gains were incredible. Last year, as a year and a month ago, everybody's insurance was getting cut off and massacred and changed in November, and that was to beat the fact that everybody comes stampeding into the pharmacy and the doctor's office in December to try and get something done before their deductibles roll over January 1st. Of course, if we had the same medical care systems, everyone's deductible would roll over on your birth date, and then the load would be distributed, but that would be way too easy and logical. So I'm interested in hearing what everybody's doing for insurance these days. I'm on Molina Care right now, and scary thing, they sent me this email saying I was supposed to log into the site and tell them all about myself, which I'm going to see if I can get away with not doing, because I figure if I do all that, that's just more ammunition for them to throw me off for some reason. Anyway, that's I think going to be it for me. I see 2 minutes and 35 seconds here. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to Bob, Net Control. This is James, Whiskey Uniform 7 November. Oh, by the way, welcome, Gary. I think it was Randy, W3RWN. I hope to hear from you again, Randy. And I hope you'll take a peek at our streaming and see what we're doing here on video. This is James, WU7N, back to Bob, K9PQ, Net Control.
Okay, well, very good, James, and thank you for that report. And let's go to Randy, W3RWN. Go ahead, Randy.
Okay, very good evening. W3RWN, Randy in Burien. Not active on ATV, but kind of interested and did watch the stream a bit. Sitting here in the shack doing a few things and just listening along. Just in general, I'm a member of several clubs. Let's see, I live in Burien, so the Highline Radio Club. Active in the West Seattle Radio Club. Participate with Seattle ACS. And the Puget Sound Repeater Group. So haven't been involved in ATV. I have, though, been involved in microwave. When I lived in California, I was active with the 10 gigahertz microwave contesting scene, and still have a 10 gig radio in the basement, so not at all afraid to get on 1.2 gig. I think I might be able to get a signal into the ATV repeater from where I live in Burien. I'm about 400 feet elevation. So if I show up back on here for a few weeks in a row, next thing you know, I'm probably going to have another hobby and ham radio. Back to Net from W3RWN. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Randy, and we'd love to have you. Man, 10 gig, that's something. I was not aware of that being an active part of the hobby. That's fantastic. Okay, this is Bob, K9PQ. It's the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net, and it's now my turn, so let me pause while I switch over to streaming. Okay, Ron, can you confirm?
Your test pattern is up.
Thank you. Now you should be seeing my picture. So, let's see. I only wrote down one comment, and I already said it, and that was Jim feeling better. Oh, I did want to comment, I guess, on two other things. The dentist, I had a really, really good dentist, and he retired, and I haven't worked up the nerve to go to his replacement yet, but I have a feeling this other dentist is also good, but, it's one of those things, when you've got a good one, you just hate to have to change. And the other thing is insurance, and I have good insurance, but my company doesn't match particularly well, they pay a percentage of it, and it's less than companies have in the past, so I get a fair amount taken out of my paycheck, but I have no no complaints, other than I'd like to have less taken out, but the insurance is good, and that's what I need right now. So, okay, let's see. I'm trying to think of what else. Randy, definitely let us know as you get, if you find yourself getting more interested. We have various machines that can be, brought to your location to see how well you can get in. That would be an option for you to see if you can get in directly. Unfortunately, I can't. I used to be able to get in directly at our old location in Seattle, but there's a hill blocking the way for me that just does not allow me to get in from home. When the weather gets better, I might do some mobile operation, but I'm making no promises. So I use this streaming uplink at this time. So with that, I'll call that my turn, and we'll go back to Ron. And let me pause while I change it back to receiver input.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Bob. K9PQ, this is KD7QKU. And Randy, I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge you last time. I forgot all about you, to tell you the truth. So, first thing to do, I guess, would be to Google ham TV, and you can find out a lot about the amateur television. We transmit on 434, and our repeater's up on Cougar Mountain, kind of south of Bellevue, between Bellevue and Issaquah, south of I-90. And it's mostly line of sight, so 20 miles is okay. If you're out 20 miles, you probably could get in okay. We do have used equipment. So we go up on 434. What are we? I forget how. We're horizontally. Yeah, I guess we're horizontally polarized on 434, and we're vertically polarized on 1.2 gigahertz. So it goes up on 434, and then it's transmitted back out to the area on 1.2 gigahertz, I guess it is. So you need an antenna for that. And you need really good coax, 9913 low loss or hard line, something. And so anyway, I have an extra transmitter here in my house. It's 20 watts. I'm on a 20 watt transmitter right now. So we do have some used equipment, and we may be getting some more from another club that was in Tacoma, and they kind of are like us. We're all dying off. We're all getting old. We've lost so many members over the last 4 or 5 years. It's terrible. I'm going to drop. And most of us are and have been active in the PSRG quite a bit over the years. I haven't been too active lately, but I used to be. So we all are members and have been involved in the PSRG repeater group. And a lot of us know people in the West Seattle Club. So.
K7ORV, and he voiced some interest in ATV, and I did a couple of profiles. I did one for 434 and then one for 1253, and sent them off to him. But he got back to me and said that he had a lot of irons in the fire, and he thought probably he wouldn't pursue it at the moment. Okay, and I understand what he's talking about. If you go over to QRZ and look up K7ORV, you should do it for fun. He got had some very, very interesting toys over the years. Anyway, it was kind of fun to look over that site. And yeah, good evening to Randy. Well, we hope that you might be able to get in. There's a very nice profiling site if you're not aware of it. Go to Hey, what's that? And then there's 3 or 4 tools that you can use. Pick the one called Profile. You before you go there, arm yourself with the GPS coordinates of the 2 points that you want to get a profile, a cross-section to. And so that you've got that information to enter into the form. And I recommend you do it in degrees, decimal degrees. It seems to go a lot smoother that way. Anyway, you get a very nice plot, and you can put in the curvature of the Earth and all that sort of stuff, and it gives you Fresnel 70 information. So it's a really nice spot. And the contest this weekend is up at N7BV, that's N7 Bravo Victor's place. And he's got one of the big contest stations in the area. But he's got two really nice. He's got a Force 12 tri-band beam, and then he's got a step-IR as well. He's got 2 towers. But this NAQP sideband and the NAQP CW, which was last weekend, you're not allowed to use any amplifiers, so everybody's got a good fighting chance there. Has to be barefoot. And I just ran out of time, so I'm going to say this to N7KC, Port Angeles, Washington. Lee here, courtesy of Echo Link. Back to you, Bob.
Okay, well, thanks for that, Lee. And yeah, hey, what's that? Hey, what's that, Pat? I think is the one that I have used, but it's part of that whole hey, what's that network of things, and those are really good tools. And Ron, I had a comment there, but I can't think of it, so we'll just go on to Gary. K7HYB, go ahead, Gary.
K9PQ, K7HYB, and the group. Good evening, and thanks for my turn. It looks like we're getting close to the top of the hour here, so I'll dump my information here, and then I'll put my 73s on it. Fortunately, I don't have a big health insurance problem. Mine health insurance is through TRICARE, through the government, through military, and so I'm fairly stable. I've been with PACMed for probably ever since I turned 60. So that's been about 16 years, and I've got the same doctor and stuff like that. I did have to change dental insurance, though. Delta Dental of California decided they weren't going to cover people in Washington anymore, or drop out of the military plan altogether, and so I had to make other selections. But I got a decent picture there. And the quality, you almost read what it says there. Anyway, so that's my health insurance situation. I guess I'm pretty lucky. I'd have to be stupid to say that I'm not. And the last time I did any business with Sears was I took a mower over to get it serviced, and they closed their mower service place over on Aurora. And I said, I'll never go in the store again, and I haven't been in there. So I don't shop at Sears anymore. And as far as Randy's concerned, there's a complete station, if I want to remind the net, there's a complete stations available in the Tacoma that might fit his needs if the profile proves that he can do, that he can hit the repeater site. Let me drop it. Start clicking. And then the other thing everybody was talking about different profiling, path profiling programs. I have used Google Earth. I've used the one that Bob mentioned a couple of times, and then I use Google Earth, and they have a path profiler program in there too that you can actually click on the map, and you can draw a line between the 2 points, and it'll do a path analyst for you. So that's just a thought there. with that thought, I've concluded my input for the evening, and I will send it back to net control, and I'll say 73s, and good evening, Randy. It was nice to have you drop by. Feel free to come by anytime. K7HYB.
Okay, very good, Gary. Yes, Google Earth is also a really good resource for that. I used it extensively when I was looking for a place to move to, and highly recommend it. So on we go to Jim, N7QO. Go ahead, Jim.
Thank you, Bob. N7QO. Well, Bob, what went wrong? You used Google Earth, but you don't have a path to this repeater. I don't know, maybe that was long enough ago that we were still using the old repeater location. Oh well. I guess everything kind of weighs in depending upon the circumstances, but yeah, at least you're getting into the repeater better than I am, for what it's worth. I guess that's okay. Let's see, we were talking about Sears. Well, I hope they hang around too. I do have some Sears products which I've acquired over the decades, and I will be needing parts from them on an ongoing basis. Let's see. Lee, thanks for the additional information on your QSO party there. I don't think I'm going to have a chance to participate in that this weekend. Randy, don't know if you got the word. I've got two items to mention. One is when we hold our nets, not sure if you're aware of that, Wednesday evenings at 8 p.m. and also Saturday evenings at 8 p.m. Doing the audio here on the 14708 machine. And the other thing, sounds like you're into microwave stuff. Are you familiar, let me reset first. Are you familiar with the Pacific Northwest VHF Society? I have not been active with them, but I'm a member, and they would do things like mountain topping and that sort of thing. I don't recall anyone that's into 10 gigahertz stuff, but it seems to me I know a couple guys that either do or used to do 5 gigahertz stuff. Just something you could maybe research if you were interested in getting back into that. Might be kind of enjoyable for you. Well, I guess the witching hour is almost upon us, so I will say 73s to everyone, and thanks for participating. I will hope to catch you all Saturday evening. And, Gary, please tell your son thanks for his service. I know times are tough. Don't know what to say or do about all of this, but anyway, hopefully things will change soon. And good night, everyone. Back to you, Bob, N7QO.
Okay, very good, Jim. Thank you, and 73 to you as well. We go to James, WU7N. This is Bob, K9PQ, and the WattsNet. Go ahead, James.
Well, Bob, you say you don't have the nerve to get a new dentist, so clearly I'm not the only one that can make dental puns tonight. Randy, welcome. Hope to hear from you again. And everybody, great net tonight. I see it's 4 minutes before the hour, so I'm going to say 73. Been trying to Back to net control. Thank you all tonight, 73.
Okay, James, well, you found the root of the problem for me there. Randy, we'll go to you, and I did want to explain about the streaming download on YouTube. The difficulties you're seeing with delays has to do with specifics of YouTube. It's designed for very widespread dissemination of very clean, strong, standard signals. And as you have noticed, we don't always have the luxury of having those clean signals. So anyway, that's just I'd throw that in there. And if you can see the video directly, it's a big improvement. So to you, Randy, W3RWN, go right ahead. Okay, looks like Randy already did his 73s. So I'm not going to switch it over again and transmit video. We're close enough to the end here. I'm just going to tell everybody thanks for the net tonight. We had a good group tonight, and it sounds like it's going to be a small group on Saturday, but I hope you have a good net. And I will be back seeing you again next Wednesday. This is Bob, K9PQ. I want to thank the CTAC repeater group and the folks that volunteer their time to keep this repeater in good condition. And thank you for the time that you let us use this 8 to 9 p.m.